Hi, my name is Cathy Neptune and welcome to my kitchen, Cathy Neptune's Kitchen. We're right into the fall season and the holiday ahead of us, and I thought it'd be nice to take a little break and do some home-style comfort food in a way you've never seen before. We're going to do a burger pie. It's very comforting, very convenient. It's everything that everybody loves, hamburger, potatoes, gravy. Quick and easy, a one-dish meal. And I'm going to give you a lot of shortcuts and variations that you can do in your kitchen to modify this to suit your needs. So what we're going to do is start out with a small casserole. Now, I thought it'd be fun because so many of you have emailed me and asked me for recipes for one or two people, singles, empty nesters, newlyweds. So you can feel free to double this recipe if you'd like. So I'm going to give you the approximate recipe that I'm doing for a two-person hamburger or burger pie. So I've used 1 pound of ground beef, lean ground beef. I like at least 85 to 90% ground beef. And I've made a meatloaf mixture. And everybody has their favorite meatloaf mixture. I like to use 1 pound of ground beef. I do about 2/3 or a half a cup of breadcrumbs, depending on your taste. 1 egg, salt and pepper. And you mix that all together, and that's your meatloaf mixture. Now, I've lined the bottom of the pan with some of the meatloaf mixture. I'm going to take the rest of the meatloaf mixture and put it around the edge. And what we're doing is forming a crust. This is going to be our burger pie base. And you don't have to be fussy with it. If you're using a little more burger, then you're going to have a thicker crust around the edge. And what we're doing is forming that around, and we're going to put gravy to the inside of the burger crust. And you can see when you have the egg in your basically meatloaf mixture, it's going to hold together really, really well. And this is, I love this recipe, and I love recipes like this that you can just modify it to suit your own taste and flavors and how many people you want to serve. Now on this one, if you wanted to do a single pie, a larger one for 4 or more people, then you could do double this recipe and use a regular pie dish that you have, either a deep dish or a regular pie. If your pie plate is smaller than this, like a glass pie plate, do 1.5 pounds and modify it according to your needs. What I think would be fun too is if you did a turkey pie. Think about the possibilities that you could do with ground beef in here. And then you could do in the center of this, instead of doing mushrooms as we're going to do today, you could do cooked carrots and peas and turkey gravy, and then fill the center on the top of it rather with either a prepared stuffing mix, or you could do the mashed potatoes as we're doing today. Now, I've sauteed about 1 pound of mushrooms, and I saute my mushrooms in a little bit of olive oil and butter, so the butter doesn't burn. You always add olive oil to it. And here's a little tip. Don't add your seasoning or salt until the end so that it doesn't draw out the moisture in your mushrooms, because mushrooms have a lot of moisture and juice. So if you do that, you'll get a really good, rich saute to your mushrooms. So we're going to put in those, and that's like 1 pound. It's probably 237 pieces of mushroom, exactly, approximately. You know, I love to measure. So that's how many are in there. Don't email me and tell me there was 1 or 2 more than I said. So we're going to pile that up there. And you can add the juice if your gravy is too thick. I hate to waste anything, so I usually pour the rest of the mushroom, because that's your flavor. Put it in the jarred gravy, and this is a beef gravy, and it can only get better if you add the mushroom juice. And we're going to pour that in over the top of the mushrooms. Do you get where I'm going with this? It's easy to do. And then save this leftover gravy to serve alongside or when you plate it. And put that on your table. But how easy is that? So I want you to notice something. Here's a little tip. Don't fill your gravy and mushrooms right to the top of your meat crust, because you're going to add potatoes on the top, and the potatoes would displace all of this liquid and everything, and it might overflow. So what we've done here, another quick fix, is you buy the instant prepared mashed potatoes, and they have all different flavors. This one here I think is a Parmesan one, or you can make your own and add Parmesan or chives or whatever you'd like. And we're just mounting them on the top. So easy to do, and you can prepare all this ahead of time. Oh, one other thing too I want to mention is that I added 1 egg to the potato mixture, and that helps it hold its shape. And it puffs up and it turns a nice rich golden brown. So we're just mounting that up. How fun is this to do? And get your kids in the kitchen too. I hope you've been watching my videos on kids in the kitchen, the one we did with little Sally, and it's just so fun to have kids in the kitchen with you. You know where they are, what they're doing, and they're learning. And you're getting dinner done as well. Now you could make this right up to this point and cover it and refrigerate it, but I want you to know that I've left the crust along the edge. I just think it makes a beautiful presentation, and this hamburger is going to get nice and toasty and crispy, and you have your meatloaf and your mushrooms and your gravy and your potatoes. It's a meal in one. And what I would serve on the side of this would be some wonderful fresh green beans, or a tomato salad, or a green salad, cream spinach, and you're just going to love this. And be creative with this. You can also do this with ground pork. Put some wonderful thyme and garlic and treat it just as a meatloaf mixture with an egg and breadcrumbs, the same as you would with a meatloaf. And then you do your mushrooms, and then your pork gravy and potatoes on the top, and a side dish of applesauce. You've got it great. So try this, use your variations, use your imagination and the preferences of your family. Now we're going to bake this at 275 for about, I would say, till the meat looks done. It's a smaller pie, so I would say 35 to 40 minutes or until it's done. And when we come back, I'm going to show you what we're doing for dessert. So here's our burger pie. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Cathy's Kitchen. I just want to clarify something. I want to see who's been paying attention. I might have misspoke on the temperature to cook the burger pie. It should be at 375. And by the way, so many of you have emailed me at this address below on the screen if you'd like the complete recipe with the correct instructions on them, of course. So now we're going to do a dessert portion of this, and because it's fall, in the pumpkin season and towards Thanksgiving season, I love pumpkin. It's such a New England thing. And I thought it'd be interesting to make a pumpkin dip. It's a healthy snack, it's fun to do, it's easy, it's no bake, it's colorful, convenient, and it's a great thing to bring anywhere to your holiday entertaining. So we're going to start out with some softened cream cheese, and again, I'll be happy to send you the recipe. And I just soften this lightly in the microwave. And you don't have to get fancy. I'm just using a whisk. You can use a beater, an electric beater, if you're more comfortable with that, but I'm kind of a whisk type of person. And to the softened cream cheese, and by the way, you can use low fat if you want to do a low fat version of this. But you can actually do the low fat version of this is you make it exactly like this, and then you don't eat it. If you want to see low fat, I'll come to your house and lay on the floor. So now we're going to do exactly, approximately, a 1/3 cup of pumpkin. So I'd say that's about a 1/3 cup of pumpkin. And the same equal amount of brown sugar. So before I add the brown sugar, I'm going to incorporate this into the softened cream cheese. And you know, you probably heard me say before, they have a wonderful new version of cream cheese that's made out of yogurt called yogurt cheese. And I just love it. It adds a nice tang to everything. And especially in dips, and in something like this, I would certainly interchange the yogurt cream cheese as well. So, oh, it smells great. There's nothing like pumpkin. And you can add a little more or a little less. And whatever spills out, spills out. And then we're going to add the brown sugar, about a 1/3 cup, the same amount of pumpkin that you're using in the cream cheese. And you know what? I'm going to add a little more pumpkin because I think the more the better. And whatever I don't use, you know, you can freeze your pumpkin. I freeze it and save it and put it in pancakes. And it makes awesome pancakes. You just mix it in your batter with a little bit of cinnamon. Really nice. And it smells so good in the kitchen when you're making anything with pumpkin. I'm going to use some cinnamon. About, again, exactly approximately 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. And I love this cinnamon. There's a special place that I get this cinnamon. It has ginger, nutmeg, and orange peel in it. And again, you can email me for any of these recipes and resources for some of these spices, seasonings, and tools that I'm using today. And then we're going to add probably about 2 teaspoons of maple syrup. And I always like the real stuff. So there's 1 and 2. And you can never have too much or too little, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. I don't even know what a measuring spoon looks like. I guess it's because I'm not much of a baker. I'm more of a cook. Terrible things happen when you don't measure in baking, but cooking is a little more forgiving, I think. So that's all there is to it. And you can make this the night before if you'd like. And put that, mix that together. And what I've done is hollowed out a pumpkin, a very small pumpkin. And we're going to take and fill the pumpkin with the dip mixture. And you know what would be fun? I'm going to serve some ginger snaps with this. But you know what else is good? You can actually buy cinnamon chips in a bag and use cinnamon chips or make your own with pita bread. You just brush your pita bread with water and a mixture of cinnamon and sugar. Sprinkle it on top and bake it in the oven and you have your own cinnamon crisps. You can also use vanilla wafers, little cookies, anything at all. Pile that up on the top. There's more for a refill. Put some cookies. These are wonderful ginger snaps. Of course, you can make your own too. But like I said, I'm not much of a baker. Put those in. Kids love this. It's so colorful. It's so pretty. And then, if you want to add a little something else, I have an apple here that I'm going to wedge and put that along the side. I'll just put that there and everybody can help themselves. Break the center of that off. And you're good to go. That is our pumpkin dip with ginger snaps and apple wedges. It's fun, it's fast, fabulous. You're going to be a hero when you serve this when your kids come home or you bring it somewhere to the host who's hosting a dinner party for you. So in a moment, we're going to take our burger pie out of the oven and we have a whole meal ready to go. Thank you. We'll be right back. Welcome back. I want you to check out our burger pie with a filling of mushrooms and gravy and mashed potatoes on the top. If it wasn't me, I'd be impressed because it looks really good. It tastes even better. Now to finish it off, I'm going to sprinkle in a little fried onions right out of the package. You could do shallots if you wanted crispy fried shallots, but I think this is just over the top. Over the top, great. Adds a little crunch and texture. And there we have our burger pie in a creamy pumpkin dip with ginger snaps, fresh apples. You can also do, like I said, the cinnamon chips. Fresh pears would be wonderful with this. And I hope you try this at home. Be sure to email me if you have any questions, comments, or you'd like the recipes or resources for the tools and ingredients. I want to thank you again. I hope you try these wonderful fall recipes for your family and friends. Thank you for watching, and may the fork be with you.